Welcome back. Time to take a drive along on the world of sport. There were more records broken by Africans on day 5 of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham 2022. Now, the swimming South Africa's Lara van Nierkerk won gold in the women's 100 meters breaststroke, with silver going to Tatjana Schoenmaker, of course, her compatriot. In the men's 200 meters breaststroke, we have Pieter Coetze, who won bronze for South Africa again. Athletics kicked off yesterday, Tuesday, with more African athletes on parade in the men 100 meters and the women's 100 meters. Africa's record holder and fastest man in Africa, who is the third fastest man in the world, Ferdinand Omanyala of Kenya, won his heat by 10.07 seconds, and he progressed to the 100 meters semi-finals, while the likes of Akani Simbine from South Africa, Kenya's Samuel Bayakoye, and also Imeta, along with Nigerian Favour Ash. Benjamin Azamati from Ghana also qualified for the men's 100 meters semi-final. In the women's 100 meters heats, we had Nigerian trio of Grace Wokwacha, Rosemary Chukuma and Joy Udo Gabriel. They booked a semi-final spot. So it seems to be getting hot for all Africans making their showings there. Of course, to get in this conversation, athletics in Birmingham 2022, we have Nigerian sports commentator Nosa Nguma joining us all the way from Benin City. Thank you, Nosa, for joining us on Breakfast Sports this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, of course, it's getting hot in Birmingham 2022. I did say that when athletics start, we'll see the fire-branded athletes from Africa have their showing. So from yesterday's hits, we are seeing Africans making the semi-final. Africans dominated from Kenya, Akani Simbine from South Africa, Ferdinand Omanyala from Kenya. We had Azamati from Ghana, not forgetting Favour Ash from Nigeria, making the semi-final. Looking at the crop of athletes we have in the 100 meters, what do you think about the 100 meters for the women and the men in Birmingham 2022?
Well, personally, I feel we'll stand a great chance talking about Nigeria's athletes at the Commonwealth Games. Looking at the crop of athletes that will have, Favour is there, and we've got a couple of other guys that can actually stun the world. It's been a long time coming, and these guys are prepared. I think the World Championship prepped them very well for these Commonwealth Games, and I'm really impressed with the performance so far. But then again, I have to say that we have to be very, very careful so that we don't get too excited before, of course, the big medals start coming in. And I'm really hopeful that Grace Wokwacha for the women will be able to live up to expectations. Considering what happened in the World Championship, I was a bit disappointed. But our preparations for the Commonwealth Games was spiced and was made better by the World Championship. So I'm hoping for big things from our athletes at the Commonwealth Games.
Okay, in the 100 meters hits, Ferdinand Omanyala, after the visa issue he had encountered for the World Athletics Championship in Oregon, he came up tops this time, breaking his own record, having a national record in the 100 meters hits. And we could see that Akani Simbine also is making it to the finals. So looking at the finals of the 100 meters hits, we didn't have Ghana's Azamati, Benjamin Azamati, though he made it to the semi-final, but the finals will not have Ghana Azamati. So what does this say about 100 meters race for Africans? Have we improved by the timing?
Definitely we have. Yeah, the timing has improved greatly considering the time before now. But another thing I must state here is that the fact that we're performing like this goes to show that over time we'll be putting in the work needed before now. And if you look at Ferdinand before now, he's got the national record before now, and he has been preparing very well. My money is still on him. He's the fastest athlete in Africa right now, fastest man in Africa right now. So my money is still on him. Though patriotism want me to support our own athlete, but hey, my money is still on Ferdinand because the man has got all what it takes to stun the world. And other countries, I think they have beginning to know that Africans are actually improved and giving them tough competitions. Ordinarily, in the finals, you're going to see teams like Britain, USA, Jamaica in the 100 meters finals. But we're seeing Ferdinand Omanyala coming in as well. And it's a sad one that Benjamin could not make it to the finals. But then again, I must say that we've really improved, not just in athletics alone. All round, sports is becoming very competitive. And in Kenya, we know them for distant race. But right now, coming into the sprint as well. And it's a good one. It goes to show that we can actually give the rest of the world a big run for their money. Ordinarily, you'd want to see you put your money on the Jamaicans and the Americans or the Britons to go all the way. But this time around, I think Ferdinand stands a very, very good chance in the finals. And not just Ferdinand alone, our own athletes who are going into the other finals. Like I said, I'm still very much hopeful that Grace Owonkwocha will be able to, of course, live up to expectations of when the finals for the women comes in.
Okay, for the track event, we're done with that. Looking at the fact that we have Africans making a spectacular showing there. Let's go to field. Now, Ghana's triple jumper, Abigail Coetze, did say, "You've not seen anything yet in Birmingham 2022 because African athletes will bring it hot, hot." But she's has thrown a call to action to all athletics federation in Africa that you must invest in athletes, especially athletes from Africa, because this is what they do. This is what they know how to do best. Of course, put the surprise, break the records. Do you think this call is very crucial at this time after Birmingham?
Very, very crucial. I think the world attention turned to Nigeria and Africa after what Tobiloba Musa did in the World Championship. If not for the wind, I mean, the record would, I am very sure that the 12:06 would have been very, very, very fantastic. But the 12:12 is still a good one. And I think if you look at how these athletes train and prepare for events like this and prepare themselves for our championship, the World Championship, Commonwealth Games, they are basically based outside the shores of Africa, except for the long distance runner that are in Africa. Our own Ese Brume, she's based in the United States of America. Tobiloba Musa based in the United States of America. Now, this goes to show that most of them, even Chikwe Bukai Nekwechi, the shot putter, also in the United States of America, these athletes are based there not just for educational purpose or greener pasture, but also because of the facility in that country. And we can tell that over time, these persons have been able to show that with good facilities and preparation and, of course, the right administration, we can actually take the world by storm. And we saw that from Tobiloba Musa, of course, in the just concluded World Championship. Before now, she has been doing it. She has been coming. She kept believing in herself. And for Ese Brume, she actually won the only medal we had in the Olympics. And that goes to show that she prepared very well and everything went her way in the Olympics as well. So I'm saying that call is very crucial because without preparation, good and proper preparation, we would not be able to perform Africa generally now. We'll not be able to perform at the world stage. Looking at how athletes are being treated administratively, Ferdinand almost missed this year's World Championship. Visa issues. We know that cannot be blamed on one person, but I feel it could have been avoided if the administrators in charge were up and doing at the right time. That call is very crucial, I must say. And I think it's particularly in my own country, Nigeria,
okay.
We should key into it and see how we can, of course, help our athletes prepare better and give them the platform to excel.
Okay, no, sir. We've talked about investment right now. Let's see poaching. A lot of athletes switch allegiance because when they perform well, of course, other countries will want to poach them. We had the likes of Nierkerk picking up gold. She's the first Nigerian to ever pick gold in the women's discus. That's never happened before, but it happened yesterday. So looking at poaching, how do we stop poaching of African athletes who have done so very well, especially when they're not well taken care of in their own federations?
Well, we're going to look at poaching from two sides. It's a delicate issue, I must say, because now we're going to say, okay, how about those athletes that were born and bred in a foreign country who have their parents from another descent? You want them to compete for you. That happens a lot in football. It happens a lot in football. Now, and when I feel a certain way about where I grew up and I am taken in as a family, respected and everything, giving me all I want, education, life, growing up in a certain country, and then you just come out of the blue to tell me, oh, well, your parents are from another country and the country is really wanting you to represent them. I'll have a second thought about it. Now, if I am not well taken care of or there's anything in between, then my decision might be swayed. But in all, poaching entirely cannot be stopped, but it can be reduced. Now, what I feel we should do is if we have the proper administration first, then facility, generally we are going to have athletes who are of our own descent come this direction on their own.
All right, no, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution today on Break for Sport. We do appreciate you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, we had South Africa still leading the medal standing at the Birmingham 2022. We can't wait to see all the African countries go into the top 10 of the medal standing. So sport update at this time. I am Onyinyechi Obaro. Back to you, Osa and Olive.
Olive is the name. Because you seem to only remember us at this morning.
It's Olive.
Don't worry, we'll take our disagreements off camera.
Oh, right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing us sport updates. And it's actually a breath of fresh air to see South Africa in the news for something positive. Yesterday, we did speak about what's happening. But yeah, it's very exciting to see that they're doing well in the Commonwealth Games.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.